Good girl, Ruby. Come on. Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. My name is Constance and I've been working on projects today. Working on getting my videos done, edited, scheduled, all of that. I will be headed out in the morning to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Going to finally meet the new grandbaby. I'm very, very excited. I'm also going to be meeting my daughter-in-law's family for the first time, which I'm excited about that. They do not live anywhere near here. Some of them live in Germany, so I have not had the opportunity to meet them before now. So that will be nice. Just a little bit of an update on things around here. You probably saw I'm walking two dogs. Well, we've walked Ruby since we've gotten her just because we're doing the whole housebreaking thing. And so we bring her out here, we walk her all over the place just to make sure she's using the bathroom outside. Well, about a week and a half or so ago, we put electric fencing in the backyard to keep the dogs in. Let's just say little Mr. Duke is so scared of the electric fence he won't go outside. So now I'm walking two dogs in the middle of nowhere, as though I still lived in town. And then this morning, Mr. Smith and I were trying to work on the range. So we bought this house and it came with the appliances, which was great. I mean, I much prefer gas stoves over electric stoves, which is what we had at the last place. However, we had been noticing an issue with this particular range. And those of you who are familiar with gas stoves may have noticed this as well in some of my cooking videos, where when I would start one of the stove eyes or burners or whatever you want to call them, I grew up calling them stove eyes. When I would turn one on, the flame was really big and very yellow. That is not what you're supposed to see with a propane stove. If you see orange, yellowy flames that are really big, it means there is something wrong when you're doing propane. I also started noticing that I was seeing soot. Let me show you this. This right here is a brand new casserole from Lodge. I've only used it maybe 5 times, and I'm being generous. But look what is happening to the bottom of this. And this will not come off. I have scrubbed it with everything I can think of, short of a bleach scrub type of substance. There is soot getting on everything. And I'm pretty sure that's also possibly one of the issues I had with the meringue cookies I tried to do a few weeks ago. Now, they did not turn out right, and I know that that's because of the sweetener on the inside, but the outside was kind of dark, and I think it was soot in this oven, which is very concerning and definitely not healthy. So I did some homework to try and figure out what was going on with this stove. And sure enough, when you purchase a gas stove like this, it comes with different fittings. Well, many of them do. Not all do, but many of them do. There's a little bitty piece inside each flame that controls the gas. There are ones for natural gas and there's ones for propane, and they are not the same. Now, this range came with the propane ones. As a matter of fact, here they are right here. All of these little pieces control the flame. This is one of them that goes inside the oven. You see there's a tiny little hole right there in the middle. That controls how fast or slow the fuel comes through for the burner element, whether it's the oven or a stove. And that size hole is different for natural gas as it is for propane. Well, they all have little numbers on them, little like codes, so you know which is which. And lo and behold, this whole dish right here are all of the propane ones. And the ones on this range are the natural gas, which means we have been using way more fuel than we're supposed to. And that is why my brand new pan is getting stained and scorched. And that's a problem. So this morning, we pulled out the range. We were going to go ahead and swap everything out because it's really not hard to switch these out. I mean, the little bitty ones in the stove are kind of a pain, but it's doable. However, when we got to looking, there's no cutoff valve inside. Now there is one outside for the propane, so I mean we could like turn on one of the stove eyes and then cut off the fuel and let it burn all out until there's nothing left. But when you swap these out, you're also supposed to make sure that the pressure inside like the tubing and I guess and everything is the right pressure, otherwise it could burst and that would be really bad. It mentioned possible explosions and we definitely don't want that. And so I know that this has not been functioning properly for who knows how long, however long this range has been here, I guess, but we don't want to mess with anything and risk our safety. So this week, while I am gone and visiting with the kiddos, Mr. Smith is going to be seeking out an appliance repair person or a plumber or gas fitter or somebody who can come and do the propane conversion for us because, you know, we're really handy. And we can do all sorts of things. We can build things, we can paint things and do some electrical work and all sorts of things. But when it comes to something that could cause a stove to explode, I think we are going to bow to the experts and actually call somebody in to do that. But speaking of being handy, one of the things that I did today was I measured and I did some pricing for all the stuff that you see right here. Now I do have several trips coming up and so I need funds for that. But after I get back on this trip, I'm going to kind of sit down and work out my budget and start making a plan to begin working on this kitchen. Now, it's not going to be done all at once. We'll have to do this in stages because, I mean, we're replacing all of the cabinets. We're replacing the countertop, both on this side and that side of the kitchen, plus the sink. You know, so there's going to be a lot done in here. I also plan on doing a backsplash down the road. I don't know when I'll be able to get started working on it. The first of many trips is about to take place. I've got a lot of trips coming up. I've got 2 trips coming up to Alabama. I have a trip to Virginia. I have a trip to Texas, in addition to my trip to Kentucky this week. So lots of traveling going to be happening, and then it is going to be projects on this house, including building garden beds this fall and everything else. So that is it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me here for a little bit of an update in the kitchen. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.